My name is Charles Thompson. I'm an industry veteran of about 12 years. I've been in the energy space totally for about 30 years. I was in home security for a period of time. So I've kind of been around a lot of the construction that takes place. And I'm seeing this convergence of the industries coming together, particularly collectively participating in solar. And that's what you're going to hear about tonight. This industry has been overwhelming for me. It's been a phenomenal journey. And with this company, you're going to hear about all the things that we've gone through to get to where we are today to share this amazing journey. So we'll talk about Powur. Powur does sell a lot of solar. They install a lot of solar, but they're not a solar company. Powur is a platform. And you look at that and say, what does that mean? Well, you're going to hear a lot about that today. But what's great about this industry that we're in is people are flocking to get into the industry for a lot of reasons. And we really want to speak to each of you from HVAC, from roofing, from anybody who's touching a home, and how you can add solar to what you do today with no hassle and without disrupting or distracting your current business model. That's the beauty of a platform that allows you to leverage everything that the Powur provides. Now, this is going to be a full hour tonight. We've got a lot of ground to cover. You're going to see two videos during the presentation. You can see a video from two incredible roofing partners that we have on the platform. And then you're going to see a video from our CEO, Mr. Jonathan Budd. And then when my piece wraps up, we're going to bring Bobby Smith live on the camera, and he's going to interview two amazing partners from the HVAC and roofing community. So settle up for that. Know that we're going to be here for a full hour. We promise to make this worth the investment of your time. All right, so let me ask you a question. What if you could increase your closing ratios without lowering your price, so you don't have to meet the actual price of the customer that the competitors have, offer additional value to your customers, differentiate yourself from your competitors, earn money on every home, whether you provide them with a service or just solar? So that gives you the opportunity to have multiple streams of income to diversify your portfolios. Industries are shifting. Times are different. There's times where there's peaks and valleys and ebbs and flows. This allows you to be in front, be in the forefront rapidly, and offer something that's going to help you and help your clients, most importantly. But now, what if you could do all that without any additional operating costs whatsoever? That is what Powur will deliver you for today. So let's talk about why this is important. If you haven't watched the news, here's a little report for you. Since 2003, energy prices have skyrocketed. They double nearly every 10 to 11 years. But if you heard about supply chain issues, you saw the soaring cost. I mean, the cost of energy has gone through the roof, no pun intended. I live here in San Diego, California. When I first came out here, I was paying 18 cents for a kilowatt hour of energy. 18 cents. I now pay 55 cents. That's in 3 years. In 3 years to see what's happening. Now, it's not that dramatic in every market, but every market is starting to see the increase of energy costs. And what do you think that does for your homeowner? So if you have an opportunity to be able to help your homeowners save money and improve the quality of their life, this is the way to make that happen. You're already a trusted advisor working with your homeowners. Your customers are going to go solar with or without you. So you know the rates are rising. There's also an increased concern for energy independence. You've been watching the news, it's hard not to say. The incentives have increased to make it literally a no-brainer with the new acts that came through and the 30% federal income tax credit that's available to your homeowners, that in some of your service you can actually bundle together. And the solar adoption, you're going to hear about a little bit about the rate of adoption. And you can leverage all of that with the Powur platform and grow your business without having to build the infrastructure to do that, because we already have done that for you. That's the beauty of it. So what does it mean for the homeowner? Let's talk about the value. In many markets, the homeowner can save up to 50% on their energy costs. But even if it's a 10% savings, if you start to multiply that savings over the period of time, think about what they're doing with the utility. They're paying every single month. When does that bill end? In solar, it has an end date. If they paid cash, the end date is now. If they went through financing, the end date may be 25 years, but when it goes where the loan is paid off, there's no more payment for the energy being produced from the panels. And we can do that with all zero down financing. They can receive, assuming they have tax liability and eligibility, a tax credit of 30% in 2022. They'll increase the value of their home anywhere from 4 to 6%. So think about that. Right now, they're renting energy from the monopolized utility grid. They have no control over their energy costs. You go solar, you have control. You have predictability of your prices, and you have an asset as opposed to a liability. And it happens to be clean, renewable energy that does good for our planet, for our environment, for reducing pollution. And you're going to help your clients stop wasting their money on utility bills. So I'm going to speak a little bit to the roofing side of this business, since our two featured video guests, the incredible stories that they have. I want to show you why this is so important. And this can be parallel to any of the other industries out there. Just look at roofing alone. So if you take a new roof just by itself, let's just assume the cost is $14,750. The homeowner already has a utility bill of about $315. They finance the roofing project. They're paying about $125 for that. The utility bill doesn't go down. And they have an increased cost of thousands of dollars per year because they're paying off the roof. Yeah, it's a good thing. They've got a new roof. That's great. And whatever your commission is, whether you're a seller or whether you're an owner, that commission will vary clearly. But what if you add that to solar? What if you take a new roof, take that old utility bill, you finance everything together, leveraging Powur's financing ability. Now you have a new utility bill of $20, and you have a decrease in their household bill by over $1,200 per year, a savings over 25 years of $42,000. And instead of a small commission, you have a commission of over $7,900, nearly $8,000. That's the benefit of leveraging solar with roofing or with HVAC or with any other services that you'll provide. Hope that puts some things into context. And if you look at that, say, okay, how big is this opportunity? It's big. There's 130 million single-family residences in the United States of America. How many of those are eligible for solar? 90 million. 90 million. 90 million eligible for solar. Only 3.5 million have gone solar. So that leaves us with 87 million eligible households for you and for us collectively to go and help convert them to clean, renewable energy, save them money, and also perhaps bundle your services with that. That's this industry. And if you want to know how fast it's growing, in 2021 alone, every single minute, someone went solar. And that's only increasing as we grow and more people see the rising cost of energy. You can be part of that. But then you look at that and say, wait a minute, if somebody went solar every single minute, why is only 3.5 million gone solar? The industry's been around for 65 years. It's residentially been pretty strong for 15 to 20 years, but only 3.5 million, only 3-4% of the population. Why is that? Well, we believe that it's the model. The model was built on something called a red line, which we're not going to get into today. That's just the history of the industry. And clearly, in my opinion, if it was really working, we would have tens of millions of people on solar. But we don't. But we will collectively by changing the model. And that's what Buckminster Fuller said. To change things, don't try to fight the existing reality. Build a new model that makes that old model obsolete. That is exactly what Powur is doing. And why we're winning is we have created a platform. So let's look at the similar patterns of that. The old way of doing business in the retail side. Look at how you can literally order something from Amazon and be at your doorstep the next day, same day sometimes, versus having to go to the retail. Those industries didn't evolve. Some have, but look at what's changed. It's happened in the taxi industry. Uber has completely disrupted taxi. It's happened in the travel industry. Now, not many people book directly with a hotel. They go through different sites to do that. It's happened in the entertainment industry. And it's happened in a major way in the real estate industry. So if you think about that, the old way of doing business versus a new platform economy, many tremendously successful stories. That's what Powur is doing for the solar industry. And you have the ability to be part of a movement that is changing this industry today. And why we're winning? Let's take a look at it from this perspective. Take that same business model. It is the business model, it's the platform. And for the homeowner, what's beautiful about it, and for you as sellers, and I'll talk about what roles you can play here in just a few minutes, you have complete transparency, so you know exactly what the cost is, as a red line is more hidden costs typically. In this case, you have customized solutions. You can do what's right for your homeowner. We have the best and leading equipment in the industry and best financing solutions because of the way we're scaling. If you look at our industry, the bigger we grow, we got 7,500 active sellers in our platform and over 200 enterprise, which you'll hear about tonight. As we grow, our buying power gets better. And the better our buying power gets, the better our pricing gets. That means you can either make more on a project or you can pass on better savings to a homeowner. So that buying power equals value to you and to the homeowner. And we know your relationships with your customers is important. We want you to feel comfortable that behind that is an exclusive 30-year warranty that covers not only the parts, but the labor, the roof penetration. I believe, and I've been in the industry for 12 years, it's the best warranty that this industry has ever had. And then we have a wonderful ambassador program. So every homeowner that you help, whether you help them go solar or whether you help them with any of the services that you offer, you can reward them with $1,000 for anyone they refer, and Powur takes care of that payment for you. That's the beauty of a platform and how and why we are winning. Well, you can leverage that platform. Now, this is where you can start to think about integrating. Here's 3 great examples. You're going to hear a video in just a few minutes of some fantastic stories of how this has been done. You can integrate. You don't have to give up your time. You don't have to compromise your quality. You don't have to dilute what you're doing. Again, we don't want to take away from what you're doing. We want to add a layer of revenue to what you're doing and to diversify. So if you do hit times where projects can come in ebbs and flow, you can take care of that and you can increase your profit as you have the best reputation in this area. If you're in the home, if you're talking to home, you are considered an expert, whether it's roofing, HVAC, pest control, doors and windows, general contractors, landscapers, you are a trusted advisor. And I'm going to share with you now a video of 2 of those trusted advisors and what they've been able to do in leveraging the Powur platform. Let's play that video.
So I've been in the roofing industry for 10 years now, and I was given an opportunity by the owners of Peak to Peak Roofing and Exteriors. Anytime we get big level storms in Colorado, roofers come in from all over the nation. Because of that, there's a lot of fraud that happens in this state. So being a local company that's been here, was founded here, we're able to provide services for people and give them peace of mind knowing that if we say we're going to do something, we're going to actually do it.
I've been in the roofing business for 22 years now. I got into this business in Chicago, started out as a door knocker. Eventually I did sales, so I had the pleasure of being able to work with some of the largest roofing companies in the country. And, I evolved into being a business owner. We've had McAllen Valley Roofing now for going on 11 years, and kind of the rest is history. McAllen Valley Roofing is one of the most trusted roofing companies in Texas. And, people in our community really trust us. When we sit down and we say something, they listen. And so when we actually offer solar, they take it seriously. And when we show them the math, they make a decision to go solar.
As a roofing professional, we experienced a lot of pain points trying to get into solar. The communication was horrible. They were not, actually executing the way that they said. And I have a lot of high-end clientele. And so 3 specific clients of mine, they completely dropped the ball. And I was like, that's it, I'm done. And it kind of fell off my radar for a little bit until I met with one of my realtors and said, hey, I hooked up into this platform with this company called Powur, and it's been incredible. And I was a little skeptical at first, and then I decided to take a step of faith and actually look at the platform, and we were like, let's go for this.
I got introduced to Powur through one of my buddies, a very, very successful friend of mine, and says, hey, Brian, you have a roofing business, and I have an opportunity for you using the other company that you currently already have. And I thought that was such a great idea, because there's this evolution that's happening with solar where there's going to be this merge of industries together. It's going to be solar, roofing together, and I want to be on the forefront of that. And so when he had told me about this opportunity with Powur, I took it seriously.
One of the benefits of the Powur platform is I can easily offer solar solutions to my existing clientele, and that goes for anybody in the trades. If you're a painter, if you do gutters, even if you're inside homes cleaning carpet, you can offer these solutions easily to your existing clientele. So after only 9 months in the industry, we've sold 30 systems, and in just the month of September alone, I sold 9 systems, ranked number 5 in the entire company. Powur is the catalyst that can lower the activation energy required to be successful in solar, because after many iterations and a lot of failure with other companies, Powur has proven to be the platform that we needed to plug and play and achieve that level of success.
The cost of overhead is probably, one of our biggest concerns as a roofing company. When you're talking about your payroll, your accounting, your project management, your tracking, your phone calls, it costs me about $150,000 a month. And Powur takes care of all that for $85 a month. And at the end of the day, that's really what matters. Low overhead, high profit. We just do what we do best, and that's go out there and recruit and sell. And that's the part that I love.
So as we got into the Powur platform, I was introduced to several key leaders in the company, one of them being Charles Thompson. So Charles, one of the things he did inside of our relationship was help me become a tier 3 seller. And inside of that relationship building, we were also able to plug into the enterprise program, which he told me about, which allows my entire company to be plugged into Powur. And we've been seeing the benefits of that from day one. We have now become the certified roofer and the preferred roofer for Powur in the state of Colorado.
Once people, jump onto the solar train, once they realize the benefits, your customers become your biggest advocates. And what I've noticed is our sales guys become super busy after they've sold a couple projects, because literally their customers, as an ambassador, are making $1,000, and now they're telling everybody about it.
Being a trades professional, being in the roofing industry, now being able to offer solar, one of the reasons why I do this is because, we make a tremendous amount of money. And the reality is I like money, and I like making a lot of money. But the thing that has always lent to my success is the fact that I really care about people. And I really believe in solar, and the fact that I can offer a clean energy solution to people and save them a ton of money is something that's really lent to the success of me being in solar, because I've just taken that same heart out of roofing and applied it to solar. Powur can change your life. It really can.
Powur was a godsend. They do all the accounting and project management. And when you think of a roofing company, those are really your 2 biggest hurdles. I wish I had a roofing company that can do that for me. My name is Brian McSteen, and I'm living a powered life.
My name is Damon, and I'm living a powered life.
What a wonderful representation of what a roofer can do, anyone touching a home can do to leverage the Powur platform. Not only that, the relationships that we've built with Brian, an absolute rock star out of Texas. Damon and I become dear friends. This is part of what it also is a community. I'll talk a little bit more about culture in a minute, but let's look at the opportunity. You can build your own solar company from anywhere because it's all cloud-based. We don't want you to worry about having to deal with all the marketing and all the tools. That's provided for you. Marketing assets and materials, a virtual proposal tool so you can use that in the home or you can use it virtually. The back office that you'll see little clips of here in a moment. A homeowner presentation so you can properly educate them on the benefits of going solar. And once they see it and they get educated, it's absolutely a no-brainer. And then once you're in the platform, you have access to a knowledge base, hundreds and hundreds of articles and specialties. So if you have a question about something, you simply type it into the knowledge base and you get your answer. And affordable healthcare. How many independent contractors out there are paying premium rates to get healthcare? I have dozens and dozens of friends who have gotten their healthcare through Powur now that they're on the platform, saving thousands of dollars per year. My personal policy was down by $900 per month. That's because you're leveraging a platform with buying power. Now I'm going to walk you through some of the tools that you have. And the reason I want to do this, I don't want you to think that you're going to have to go out and create a whole lot of assets to leverage the platform and all the things that you have in the back office. It could take an hour doing, but let's do this in just a few short minutes. And this video is going to walk you through all of the tools that you have once you're in the platform. You can see that you have marketing links. You can see that you have clips, you have graphics, you can have images that you can post on social media. You have your own landing pages so that you can drive them to educational base. They can opt in to get more information. They can upload a utility bill so that you can then go ahead and create a dynamic proposal for them. You can show them all the great knowledge. You see the brochures that you can edit those, put your name, put your company name, your email and phone number on there. You can download those. You can use those in any capacity. There's no charge for those. That's part of being in the platform. If you want to do a mailer, let's say you're doing a roof or you're doing HVAC, you're doing whatever in a neighborhood, you can do a mailer to that neighborhood to talk about the solar. And then the dynamic proposal tool, absolutely phenomenal. You don't have to know how to design. Everything's done for you. You just remove the panels that you don't need. You set it to the desired offset for the homeowner. You can show them all the value over 25 years, what's going to happen, how their bill will go to zero at the end of that 25 years, no loan payment. Show them all the incentives. You can show them the long-term benefits. Then inside our university, this is by far the best training that I've ever seen in the industry. You'll start with a short hour-and-a-half orientation to get into the platform. Then you have access to hours and hours of just incredible training on every topic. You can hear from experts in the platform on how to overcome objections, that knowledge base that I referred to that you can just type in a keyword. We also have that Powur Care warranty. There's brochures, everything there. There's pages for each and every market that we're live in, so you can see what's happening there, what utilities are cooperating, what are the rates, what's the market that we have. All of that's available through the incredible tools in our knowledge base. Then we partner with our manufacturers to do training. They actually train each of us. You have a virtual site survey application that you or the homeowner can just upload 8 to 10 photos into the platform. And now that speeds up the entire installation process. It speeds up your first payment. Then once the projects are in the platform, you have full visibility through your dashboard. You have a ticketing system. Through the ticketing system, you can communicate directly with the project manager, communicate back and forth, so there's real trackability of that. And then that incredible ambassador program that you're going to find, there's a number of ways you can leverage that. That Powur pays that $1,000 out of the margin on the commission side. That's just a real quick snippet of the benefits that you have that are already part of the Powur platform. And there's more and more coming each and every month. So we spoke about the ambassador program. You can become an ambassador. If you just want to refer people into the platform to a seller and make $1,000 and do nothing more than making that referral, you can go that pathway. Or you can have your team members become an ambassador, and you can look at that in a different manner. You have options. You can refer and earn, meaning you just put the information into the platform, you upload an electric bill, and you earn an average of $3,500 per project by tagging a tier 3 seller, a certified closer who's gone through 15 to 20 hours of training and had to have a minimum number of contracts to be eligible to do that. Or you can integrate it yourself. You can say, well, maybe I'll leverage your tier 3 network for a period of time. But what I really want to do is I want to be able to integrate this into my platform. And then you can earn the entire $7,000 on that project. And then you can, if you desire, build and scale a team. But there's more. We've created the enterprise model for businesses to partner with Powur. And over 200 of those have done that just in the short 8 or 9 months that we've had this platform. You can build an organization. You could seat your sellers, meaning anyone who's already generating leads for you in your particular market or closing deals, you can seat them in the platform, train them, coach them. We'll walk you through how to do that. You can set the compensation plan for them. Powur can pay them for you, or if you have a very specific relationship with your sellers, you can have us pay you and you pay them. You have so much flexibility that's built into this enterprise model and a lot of other controls. As a partner, as an enterprise, you have the ability to select who's doing your installs. If you happen to be Brian's a great example. Brian was doing roofing. Brian went from roofing to also doing installs. So guess what? He's selling the project, he's doing the roof, and he's installing his own projects. He's an ecosystem, part of our entire ecosystem. And then there's just a complete growing suite of features that we have with API integration, all the configuration, CRM capabilities, so many tools. Hopefully that gives you an idea of the pathways that you can have coming into Powur. Then let's talk about how we're paid. And where Powur is different, in that old faded red line model that I talked about, where they have fixed margins, they're going to make their margin no matter what you sell it at. Powur doesn't work that way. Powur works off of revenue sharing. Powur pays you 70% of whatever the margin is on a project. They don't mark up equipment, they don't mark up installation, they give you the actual cost of goods. It's called COGS. They keep 30%, but they take half of their 30%, they put it back into a revenue share plan that I'm going to talk a little bit about. So it starts with your personal sales, that if you want to completely sell the project, you're getting 70% of that net margin. Example being, if you have a $10,000 margin between what the costs were and what you sold it for, you're going to earn a $7,000 commission. If you partner with somebody to do your sales, then it's going to be a 50-50 commission split. You'll get half of that $7,000. When you build a team, you have the ability to have revenue sharing, and you can earn revenue sharing on up to 6 different levels of people in your organization. That's $150 to $550 per project, and that can be people who are in your company or people you go, hey, I know other roofers, I know other HVAC people. You can build partnerships with your competitors. Another great thing that Brian and Damon have done, they've turned their competitors into revenue streams by leveraging our revenue share opportunity. And that's 3 types of income. The 4th type of income are loan rebates. In this industry for 12 years, I've never seen a company be transparent as Powur is and actually give you a portion of the rebates that they receive from the lenders because they're hitting such big targets. Every other company in this industry that I've seen is putting that money back in their books. It's their profit. Powur doesn't work that way. It's revenue share, it's transparency, and you have the ability to earn anywhere between $600 and $800 more per project just on the rebates alone and stock options. One of the greatest things that I love about Powur is that they want us all to be owners. They want us to have equity in this company. And there's a way to earn those options based upon performance, and it truly has exponential potential. We talked a little bit about the training, and this is really something I want you to feel comfortable with if you decide to leverage the training aspect of what we're doing and become a team builder within the platform with your company. You may know everything you need to know about solar. Just consider this a refresher for you. What it really matters is you don't have to worry about doing all the training for the people who are in your team. Powur provides all of that for you through the interactive certification program, the searchable knowledge base, all the training centers. This studio is a great example. We run a 4-hour masterclass on the first Wednesday of every month directly from the studio that takes on the hottest topics that we need to do. And your sellers, your teammates can take advantage of all that and multiple live training options that are available on almost a daily basis that you can tap into. Let's take a look now at Powur's journey, because you've heard about what this means for you, but how did we get where we are today? We started as just a humble lead generation company for one company. And you can see the revenues in there in 2014, 2015. We were a lead generation company. We were making a little bit of money. But Powur continued to evolve into a sales organization, and then these models all evolved. We launched the COGS model in 2020. In the middle of a pandemic, we launch a COGS model, we teach virtual selling, and we light it up from $8.8 million to almost $100 million. And then we do a crowdfunding raise. Powur didn't need the money. They're super profitable, but they wanted all of us to have the ability to be owners. And they've invested that into operational integrity. Grew to nearly $200 million. And now you see us with our enterprise model and things that we're talking about here this evening to $300 million and beyond. That's just the beginning. Solar was the first product. We've entered into the roofing community. 20% of our projects have roof involved in them. all of them have roofs, but have roof revenue involved in them. And more of the different home services are going to be integrated in our platform starting in Q1 of next year. So this really gives you an idea of the value of this relationship. So you've heard a little bit about the industry, and there's a lot more that we can share with you during the orientation sessions, the massive need that we have, the products that we have, the most flexible and affordable solutions in the industry, the multiple streams of income that you can have in the Powur platform, the company that is it's a sustainable model. It's been built to be able to continue to scale and scale. And with the leadership that you're going to hear from, you'll know why we've done what we've done. The technology that you can leverage. But what you haven't heard about is you haven't heard about the team and culture. I alluded to that earlier. And that's the part that really, I feel honored to be part of this incredible team and the culture that we've been able to establish. And the best person to introduce you to that is our CEO, Mr. Jonathan Budd. And that's the other video I told you I would share with you. Let's go ahead and launch that video, please.
Hi, my name is Jonathan Budd. I'm the CEO and founder of Powur. And if you made it this far, you've probably heard incredible reasons to join our company already. But I want to take a minute to share with you where this company really came from. 12 years ago, 2010, I was making lots of money. I had a successful digital publishing company, but something was missing. And I really wanted the work that I actually do every day to be making a difference, to be helping to solve some of the challenges going on our planet. And I got a call one day from my friend Jim Bunch, and he said, "Hey man, I'm going on this trip with this organization, the Pachamama Alliance. I think you should come. Can you come to the Amazon rainforest?" For some strange reason, I said yes. So I went down to the Amazon rainforest with the Pachamama Alliance, spending time with this culture that has no concept of trash, that has lived for thousands of years in that forest. And down there, in the middle of a ceremony with one of the elder shamans of this tribe, the vision for Powur came to me. What I knew in that moment was that I was meant to come back and start an organization, the first of its kind, that was going to figure out how to enable anyone to earn their livelihood and participate in the clean energy or solar revolution. And it took me almost 10 years to really figure out what it was, following the clues and the signs that has ultimately led to where we are today, which is this absolutely disruptive platform for the solar energy industry. Powur is truly here to make the biggest difference we possibly can, aiding our world in becoming sustainable, getting as much carbon out of the atmosphere as possible, and delivering the next generation of infrastructure that society is going to be built on. Now, on top of that, our purpose is to reward financially the people who make that happen more than they ever have been in their lives before. We have this fundamental belief that if you get paid really well to do good, then you're going to do more good. The vision for Powur is to build the largest clean energy platform on planet Earth. And I think the potential for Powur is to truly be a global distributed energy utility that is delivering essential services that we all need for survival at breakthrough costs. This is not just solar power. This is solar power plus storage so that we can become our own utility and we're truly grid independent. This is transportation, whether that's electric vehicles or other forms of transportation that are coming. This is, of course, our appliances and the electrification of the home. This is how we grow food, how we source water. All of these are going to be challenges in the future, and technologies are enabling a new type of way to meet these needs. So this is an incredibly exciting time, and the platform is just in its infancy. And we're now getting to the point where we're able to add so many different types of installers, whether it's HVAC contractors, roofers, solar installers, all of the infrastructure that we need to live in a sustainable world, save money, and lower our carbon footprint. this platform is going to be able to sell and fulfill. I truly think this represents a multi-trillion-dollar industry, and there is no other company, not one, that is close to where we are today in giving you the opportunity to participate. Powur is owned truly by the people. We have now done 2 record-breaking crowdfunding rounds in which we let every single person in our ecosystem become equity owners of the company. In addition, we offer stock options to every single person who joins the company if they hit certain performance criteria. And we want it that way because truly our purpose here is to shift as much wealth to the people who are building the clean energy economy as we possibly can. This is truly the time to leave your mark. This is the time to go big, to make your dreams come true, to build that career, that lifestyle, that best life that you've envisioned for yourself, making a difference, doing it with people you love, and creating the financial prosperity that you know is possible for you. So, it's been my honor to meet you and share with you a little about the vision, origin, and purpose of Powur. Now it's your turn to join this amazing company, and let's go out there and accelerate the adoption of sustainable energy together.
Mr. Jonathan Budd, our CEO and founder. And how can you not be excited when you hear and know why we love Jonathan? And with him at the helm, there's really no question that we're going to take this company to levels way beyond what we ever even imagined in the early stages because of the success that we've had with particularly the programs we're talking about this evening. Honored to work with Jonathan, truly admire and respect him, and excited for the future of working with him as well. Okay, so we talk about making money. It's great to make money, and I love how Damon said I like making money, but we always also know that money is a result of impact. And Powur is more than just about profits. It's about using that for good. Powur is a certified B Corporation and a public benefit corporation. There's only 2,000 or so companies worldwide who make that kind of commitment to balance purpose with profitability. So yes, we want to be profitable because we're shareholders. Check out our impact report and see the things that we've done to be zero carbon emission, carbon neutral. No company I've ever been with has had that kind of care and want to do that much good, and all the things that we do to give away and planting trees, and there's amazing things that Powur does to give back. So that's us. I can tell you a lot more, but let's see what some of our customers say. They could say it so much better than I can, right? What the benefits that they've had of being part of Powur. All right, so enough about us. Back to you. 87 million homes. That's under the current standards. That could go to more and more. What kind of impact do you want? What part of that 87 million do you want to be part of? That's your decision. How you can leverage. You're the trusted advisor. Your homeowners respect you. If you're in any industry touching the home, they respect you. And this is where you can leverage that additional stream of income and diversify your business without distracting you. There's pathways I mentioned earlier. And all of these pathways, these plans have the same access to the platform, the cost of goods, the 5 streams of income, the diverse equipment and options and everything that we do, all the tools that we have. And they look like this. The Powur Seller, that's just for an individual. And remember, you could be an ambassador at no cost for $1,000. You get $1,000 per deal, but you've heard about the great commissions. The license gives you access to everything that we just mentioned, as well as the back office and all the training that we have. It's $99 one-time onboarding fee and $85 per month. And then there's the ability to have a Seller Pro, and that really gives you some tools to run a small business within the business. Having a support staff that can answer tickets, that can communicate with the project managers, that can help qualify leads. And for those seats, there's an additional cost, but the monthly tech fee on that's $175. And then the enterprise license, really designed for a business, an organization that wants to seat their sellers and control what those payouts are and potentially earn an 80-20 split by hitting certain milestones to achieve that. You can design your own compensation plan. There's increased equity in the enterprise program and a lot of advanced reporting that is coming soon. It's already amazing tools, but even more and more reporting coming. And that's a 350 by application only. We'll review those applications and see if it's a good match for you and for Powur. So here in just a moment, I'm going to introduce Mr. Bobby Smith. But before I do, this is time for you to really get back to whoever introduced you. We have a live audience here. There's hundreds and hundreds of people here answering questions in the chat, and then the recorded audience. Get back to whoever shared either the video with you or invited you here. Get your questions answered. Jump on this train. It will be an amazing journey. With that, I'd like to introduce you to our field president, Mr. Bobby Smith. I've known Bobby now for 8 years, truly one of my best friends on the planet. He's been my mentor. He's been my friend. We've shared tears. We've shared so many things, laughter. And he's going to share with you 2 interviews that are going to really help you see how you can leverage this platform. So, Bobby, can we get you to the stage, sir?
Well, I want to thank you very much for that warm introduction. Very excited to be here tonight. We are very excited to have another special guest with us tonight, Brian McSteen. Brian, you out there?
I'm here.
Well, Brian, again, your background's pretty impressive. We've been bringing on the elite of the elite as an owner of McCallum Roofing, one of Inc. 5000's fastest growing companies, business leader of the year. I understand the king of the roof, a Better Business Bureau board member. I mean, wow, extremely impressive. So you've had one hell of a career. Brian, what I want to start with is, maybe I'm crazy, but since the day I got involved with Powur, I've always thought that there was a division for roofers. The trusted expert of the roof would want to be selling solar. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, it just makes perfect sense. I mean, there's this big movement that's happening right now, where some solar installers are actually becoming roofers, and it's becoming a real threat almost to the roofing industry. And a lot of the roofers are becoming solar installers. And so, I got into it because I don't want to be left behind.
Yeah, I know the feeling. And you kind of represented that whole ecosystem with Powur, right? As a roofer for us, then selling and installing. You've kind of taken that whole journey with us. What's that been like?
Yeah, I mean, Powur has really brought a lot of value to our company because, as a roofer, we're not only just doing roofs for ourselves, but we're actually doing roofs for other reps as well that are, kind of in Powur's. So it's worked out really well for us.
Yeah. And, it's not just the roofing industry, Brian. What would you say to the contracting, the home service industry, everybody that's going to go through this, economy or whatever's happening right now in the world? What would you say to all the guys out there and gals that are working on homes and working for homeowners?
The hardest part about this business is really getting in front of somebody. It's really having that authentic conversation. It's explaining to them. Most people don't actually understand the benefits. They're just starting. We're at the early adoption stages right now where people are just starting to learn about this. And so it doesn't matter whether you're a roofer or HVAC or a painter. If you have the opportunity to sit in front of somebody and have that authentic conversation, you have an opportunity to utilize Powur and make a lot of money.
So for all the roofers out there, you're at the top of the food chain, right? We talked about your resume. You probably have what most roofing companies and executives want. Why this for you right now? Why this adding this to your portfolio now?
It just made a lot of sense to me because we already have the phone calls coming in. We already have those leads. We already have those opportunities to sit down with those clients. And it just makes perfect sense to have that second option and say, hey, go solar. Because we know if we're not going to do it, that somebody else will. Why would we give that opportunity of revenue, to increase our revenue, to increase our profits, and also help our salesmen make more money? It wouldn't make sense not to do it.
Yeah. So I spend a good portion of my days talking to people about why power. If they're going to get into solar, why power? You had a chance to do your due diligence, your reputation's on the line, your company's name, everything that you've built. Why power? What was that? What was that decision process for you?
Everybody at Power is really, really great to work with. That's probably one of the biggest decisions, the reasons for my decision. Another thing is also the revenue share. It's unlike anything out there. The cost of goods model, extremely important. It's not a red line model, so we have an opportunity to still be competitive in the marketplace. In a position where a lot of people with that red line model are not able to be competitive. Um, so that's one of the main reasons why obviously I chose Power. The people are amazing to work with. The rev share model also. Uh, Everybody's goal in life is to be able to make income after they've stopped working, and Power gives you that opportunity to do that.
Okay, so Brian, we started touching a little bit about revenue. You're a savvy, sophisticated business guy. What kind of revenue potential do you see for your company next year and in the years beyond? What are your goals here? What are your targets?
I mean, as far as my roofing company, another one of the main reasons that we hopped on board is because you guys handle all the back end office, and when you're talking about overhead versus your revenue and what you actually can produce and the output that you have to put out to obtain that type of income from that revenue. Power really puts you in a position, because they take care of all the accounting, they take care of all the project management, and in my business, I pay $150,000 a month, uh, just to handle that amongst all the other crazy things I have to do with hiring, with firing, and accounting and keeping track of everything. So that's probably one of the most exciting things as far as the cost versus the revenue produced in this business. It's really unbelievable. I perceive that we'll probably be in the 15 to $25 million range.
Wow, that's extraordinary. I think Charles Thompson mentioned that you had mentioned that it'd be cool if you had somebody doing for your roofing business what power does for the solar side of it.
Yeah, I can. I pay $150,000 a month for that. I'm like, and in this program, it's for the average user, it's $85 a month. I mean, how can you beat that? You can't. Like, I'm like, hey, is there? We need an online program where they do all our project management, and all we do is worried about getting paid. And selling. That'd be great. I'll take it all day because I got all the leads in the world.
I get it, man. So look, we're in the construction business just like you, and we know that things happen and projects get stalled and supply chain, all the things that are happening in the world right now. But what's your experience in total been? Because anybody can say anything, right? When you get in power and you start to work with our company, what's your experience been like so far to date?
Yeah, of course. Obviously with any company, there's growing pains, especially with the large shift that's really happened recently, where you guys sold 500 more projects in a month than you had expected because of the increasing rates of electricity. That's normal. I think people are understanding of that when you explain it to them. So that's not really been an issue. But the fact that you guys really have that communication down, you guys do communicate with all the project managers, you do communicate with all the clients. And so that experience has honestly been really great.
Yeah, we appreciate that. And then in closing, so we got a lot of roofers on, a lot of contractors, but specifically roofing tonight.
Yeah.
What would be your message to them? That person that's maybe not opened their mind up, or maybe they just thought it wasn't for them. They've got their blockers and their blinders on. What would you say to the members of the roofing industry?
I would probably compare this to investing in Bitcoin back in 2000, maybe 13. If you look at Australia, they have about a 40% adoption in solar power. We're at probably a 4% maybe now.
Yeah.
And we're about to be Australia in the next few years. So either you jump on that Bitcoin train, or you can cry about it later.
Well, I've probably never said this before, but I guess the end of this conversation would be cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you for being a part of Power. Thank you for leading the roofing industry
It's been
into
amazing.
renewable energy. And we're also doing something we always talk about for our children and for theirs. So we put our heads on the pillow at night knowing that we're doing the right thing.
Exactly.
How about that? How's that feel to you, that portion of this?
It's amazing. You know, this is all for good things. I mean, we're really, you know, we're doing something right for the earth. You know, this is something that needed to happen a long time ago. And finally, this movement, finally, solar electricity is now the cheapest energy on earth. And now we can actually make that a reality. So it feels good.
All right. Well, cheers, mate.
Thanks.
Well, we've got another very special guest from another big industry. We are so excited to have one of the HVAC's industry's leading experts here tonight. This is a gentleman who really needs no introduction. Weldon Long, you're an expert in the industry, a consultant in the industry, a founding member of the EGIA, a New York Times best-selling author, and still considered one of the industry's experts on biz dev and training. So we're just honored to have you here today. And I think what's really important to all the guests here tonight, all the HVAC industry folks, is that you've also always owned your own HVAC company. So
Absolutely.
you're speaking from a position for strength. So again, we're honored to have you here tonight. Want to ask you a couple questions.
Yep.
So why do you think this makes so much sense for the HVAC? Why does solar and the HVAC industry make so much sense?
Absolutely. Well, thanks, Bobby, first of all, for having me. I appreciate this opportunity to talk about your organization and how your organization is helping my industry. I appreciate that very much. So a tip of the cap. It's a no-brainer, Bobby. I mean, we're in the house every single day. We're sitting at kitchen tables with mom and pop homeowner. And guess what we're talking about? We're talking about converting to electric, heat, and of course, air conditioning. We're talking about energy savings. We're talking about energy efficiency. You can't have that conversation and not have the conversation with solar. And it's not just because solar obviously is producing the electricity to run the electric systems in the home. The government, as we all know, with the new Inflation Reduction Act, is pouring gazillions of dollars into supporting this technology. When you're having a conversation with a homeowner about converting to electric, and the government is promoting the solar technology, you can't really have one conversation without the other. It's a perfect fit.
Yeah. So you're on the Mount Rushmore of the HVAC industry, right? I'm winging some of this, but it seems appropriate.
I appreciate it.
Some might say, well, why you? You've earned so much money in the industry. You're such a high paid consultant. Why you? Why do you want to be in the solar industry?
Well, and I think something that's really important for me is I'm not just a guy that's an expert in the industry. I'm in the industry. I'm in the trenches. I've had a half a dozen of my own heating and air conditioning companies. I own one now in Colorado. And we're always looking for ways, obviously, to increase our revenue. We're looking for new, revenue centers. We're looking for, we're selling indoor air quality. We're selling ductwork and selling all these other different products because we're trying to drive our revenue. So it was a natural fit for me over the last few years that we began to look for the ability to get into the solar business, because it's just like if I'm going to sell an indoor air quality product, that's a natural fit with the HVAC. Again, the solar is a natural fit. So I began to look for ways to do that, right? I want to drive my revenue. I want to leverage my relationships. So many HVAC companies, as an example, also do plumbing. Well, we always leverage those relationships. When you're in the house talking about HVAC, say, hey, here's some information on our plumbing. So we're looking to add other departments, other revenue streams to our business. Solar is the perfect fit. So I began the journey a couple of years ago, trying to figure out what it would take to get into the solar business. And the one thing I found is there's some pretty significant barriers to entry, because you got to spend a lot of money on systems and infrastructure to be able to do that, which I know we're going to talk about that more and how your company fits into that groove. But no matter what it takes, we decided a couple of years ago, we're getting into solar. And if we got to buy a bunch of equipment and train a bunch of people and learn a whole new technology, well, that's what we're going to do, because we're not going to miss the boat on this solar, movement, on being the leading edge of this whole trend.
Yeah. And we know with your reputation in the industry that your reputation is as important, obviously, as anything.
Yeah.
Why Power? I know you did some due diligence, you did some homework. What made, there's thousands of solar companies out there. There's a lot of ways to go, like you talked about. You don't want to invest and start your own. We get that, but why did you choose Power? Why there?
Well, initially it was Power because Power said, hey, we'll do all the heavy lifting for you. We do the installations, we do the service, right? We take care of everything. So that was actually, obviously the first thing that was kind of like, hey, you mean I can get into the solar business and I can leverage your company and your resources and your expertise and your infrastructure, and I don't have to train people and learn to do solar. I could just go in there and talk to the homeowners about solar and then let you guys do the heavy lifting, and I get paid for that. We'll talk more about that later. But I'll be honest with you, a big part of the reason is Melissa Dawson. She's just a sweetheart. She's driven, she's focused, she's motivated. She is 100% badass. And I met her about 8 months ago, a year ago or so in Denver for breakfast with some other mutual business interest and business friends. And like her intensity and her passion for the industry and her passion for power, I'm like, dang, there must be something going on here. And then as I got to meet you and the others in your company and kind of see how the process flow works, the commitment to excellence that you guys have, the commitment to treating people properly, the commitment to being a partner for that homeowner and not just a transaction. As I begin to meet the people in your organization, I'm like, okay, this is a company that I can trust my reputation to. I'll tell you, in this industry, there's nothing more important than Google ratings. In my company, we have hundreds upon hundreds of Google ratings, and we have a 4.8. Right? We train that. We inculcate in our people. We talk about every day. You got to do the right thing. You got to get the great reviews. Well, guess what? You guys are as concerned about that stuff as we are. That was a big deal for me. The fact that you guys are taking care of business, you got your ducks in a row, and you got a rock star running the HVAC division. And we're just excited to be partners with you guys.
Yeah, it's a big part. All the people tuning in here today, they were brought here by someone, and the integrity of that person and their reputation and their passion for what we're doing is a big part of this. So I know we talked a little bit about money. There's some money to be made in HVAC, and there's a certain temperature normally outside when you're doing HVAC. Maybe you could talk a little bit about, sweat. We almost talk about sweat equity, about, what it takes here and the money that you can earn here and what those look like.
Hey, well, no disrespect to you or Melissa, but the money's the best part. I mean, you guys are awesome, but I'm trying to make a living out here, right? I'm out there with my nose to the grindstone because I'm trying to accomplish some things with respect to my financial security. Listen, when you look at the average HVAC installation, if you're doing a full system, the average ticket across the country is about $12,000, right? The target gross profit on that is 50%. And I will tell you, I've been doing this for a long time, 20 years training HVAC companies, and not very many of them have a pure 50% gross margin if they really count all of their cost of goods, right? So if you look at a true 50% gross margin, that's $6,000 in gross profit, operating income to run your business. When we started looking at solar, one of the most attractive things is not just how it fits into the conversation, but the average ticket is so much higher on that. So that's what got me interested. Like, wow, we can really drive our average revenue, our average ticket. Well, when I saw the compensation plan under Powur Solar, it's like, you mean I can get this $6,000 or thereabouts in gross profit without having to do anything except refer the lead. So the way it works is our sales guys, our comfort advisors, they go down, they're at the kitchen table with mom and pop homeowner, they're selling an HVAC system, and then the part of the conversation is, oh, by the way, have you ever thought about solar? Well, guess what? Everybody's thinking about solar. Did you understand the government's incentivizing through tax credits and other mechanisms to incentivize this? When we refer that opportunity, that lead to Powur, Powur comes in and runs the lead, handles all the installation, handles all the service, all the warranty, all the everything. And my company makes anywhere from around $3,000 to $5,000 in pure gross profit based on that transaction. That's all we have to do is refer to you guys. We do nothing. We don't have to handle the financing. We don't have to handle the paperwork. We don't do anything except, hey, Mr. Homeowner, you guys just spent $12,000 on a new electric HVAC, heating and air conditioning system. Have you ever thought about solar so you can power it for free or damn near free? Right? Oh, that's a great idea. Well, let me put you in touch with these people. Then we do the referral. Again, $3,000 to $5,000 upon installation completion, of course, right? If you guys sell it, then we get that. And the best part is, and a lot of the guys in this industry are just like me, we have sales advisors, comfort advisors that are really, really good sales professionals. We have the opportunity. We haven't done this yet in my company, but we have the opportunity with your organization that I can train my guys to sell the solar if I want to. And if we actually sell the solar, we can double our revenue. Instead of 3 to 5,000 at 6 to 10,000, I can pay my salesperson a couple of $1,000 commission. That's great for them on top of their HVAC system commission. And the company's got thousands of dollars left over that go straight towards the bottom line. And there's no brain damage. Operationally, we don't have to deal with it. Warranty work, not our problem. Service, call these guys. We don't have to mess with it. So it is like the ultimate opportunity. I will tell you, it's very similar to my speaking business. A lot of the folks watching this know me from my speaking consulting. I work with organizations like EGIA, the Electric Gas Industries Association. It's an 85-year-old nonprofit. And I work with them. Why? Because they got a great reputation. They do the right thing. I produce content. They handle all the brain damage. That's what we're doing with Powur. We're producing the opportunity. You guys handle the brain damage. And guess what? You're generous and kind enough to compensate us for that. I mean, what's not to love?
You got it. And correct me if I'm wrong, but wouldn't every HVAC company have a list that they could blind copy an email or send their newsletter out and ask all their current clients who already have their trust if they want a free energy evaluation for their
Absolutely.
home solar?
It's funny we had that conversation. I just had a meeting at my company today. This HVAC company I own right now, it's only 3 years old. We're going to do close to $10 million in our third year. We have about 10,000 customers in our database. Well, guess who we're targeting? You know, have you thought about solar? Again, everybody's thinking about solar. Why? Because the government is going to spend a lot of money incentivizing the technology over the course of the next 10 years. And I want to say something to all the HVAC industry guys, because I'm an HVAC industry guy. First and foremost, I understand that a lot of you, I have these conversations every day. I just did a 2-day seminar the last 2 days, and guys are like, well, we don't think this is Inflation Reduction Act is really going to, reduce inflation. That's not my lane, right? That's the politician lane. That's beyond my control. The reality is, whatever you think about it politically, they are incentivized cleaner, more efficient energy. And we have a responsibility, in fact, a duty to our industry to help share the information on cleaner, more efficient electricity, more efficient energy, cleaner energy. I don't care who you are. Are you concerned about reducing the carbon footprint for your kids and grandkids? Of course you are. I don't care what you think about global warming. I don't care what you think about the politics of it. Everybody knows we got to do a better job of protecting the environment. If I don't share this information with my homeowner about cleaner, more efficient energy, I'm doing them a disservice. We got to get on board with this, right? And this is our opportunity.
And isn't the conversation pretty similar? More efficient energy. We're adding a 30-year industry changing warranty onto it. They're raising the value of their home. I mean, isn't it, how similar is the combo?
It's like totally symbiotic, if I can use a 1970s kind of a hip cool kind of phrase, right? You can't have one conversation without the other. I'll tell you, Bobby, one of the funniest things about this is that in my industry, and I've trained thousands of sales professionals, and it's very common, especially in areas of the country where solar is already very popular, right? Maybe Arizona, maybe California. And we're walking into the house, and one of the things that we're going to sell the homeowner on is to convert to electric heat because it saves a ton of money, right? On an electric heat pump, on natural gas, for example, even the most efficient natural gas furnace, if I put $1 worth of natural gas, the most efficient natural gas furnace will produce 96 cents of heat and 4 cents goes out the flue. With an electric heat pump, we can put $1 worth of electricity for heat and produce over $2 of heat. It's way more efficient, right? But when we go into a home and we see solar panels, it's like, dang, we can't even use our energy efficiency because they don't care how much it costs to, on electricity because they got solar. Well, guess what? Now we care very much because we want to be the ones selling the solar. So we're going to be part of that conversation. We don't look at it anymore as the enemy, like, dang, I can't sell efficiency because they have solar. They don't care how much electricity costs. Well, guess what? Now we can be part of that conversation. We can benefit financially and environmentally and industry-wise with that conversation by being a part of it.
And we didn't discuss this, but it just came into my head. Something tells me that the HVAC industry in most markets in the United States, or many of them, slows up a little bit when the temperatures go down with it. I would assume that the fall and the winter can get a little.
Oh my gosh! Slow. You just put a stake through my heart, didn't you, Bobby? You had to bring that up. We have the shoulder season. I'm in Colorado. It's a little different depending where you are in the country, but the reality is you're going to have 5, 6, maybe 7, really great months, either really cold or really hot weather, and then you're going to have the shoulder season, right? I'm in Colorado today at 75 degrees and sunshine. Nobody's calling about heating. Nobody's calling about cooling. The beautiful thing about the solar technology is it doesn't have a slow season. It doesn't have a shoulder season. It doesn't depend on the weather in terms of its attractiveness. Obviously, the weather will impact the day-to-day efficiency of it, how much energy it produces based on the weather, but the weather doesn't dictate the slow seasons and the fast seasons, to the industry, because people are buying this stuff year round. For those of you in our industry, in the HVAC industry doing plumbing, it's kind of like the plumbing thing. Plumbing doesn't have a season, right? Things happen when they happen. Solar is the same way. So what it does, it helps us even out those shoulder seasons, provides an additional revenue stream, zero brain damage. It's like what I call a duh question. Should I do it? Well, duh, there's only one answer, right? And it's just a natural fit. It soothes out the peaks and the valley seasons. We don't have the brain damage. We get revenue. It's great for our homeowners. It's great for the environment. Everybody wins. Everybody wins.
Well, it's obvious why you're one of the most respected and highest paid, trainers and biz dev guys in the industry. In closing, in short, what would you say to the industry? What would you say to people, the HVAC specialists trying to make a decision whether they want to get into solar or not?
I would say get in where you fit in, man, because opportunities come along every so often. I will tell you, I've earned millions of dollars in the residential heating and air conditioning industry. And I work hard, I stay focused, but I'm going to tell you something. A huge component of my success, and every successful person I talk to, Bobby, Melissa, I guarantee you'll back me up on this: timing and opportunity, being in the right place at the right time. I've had so many things happen in my career that I just happened to be the right place at the right time. Yes, I worked hard. And yes, my luck is a combination of my preparation and my dedication. And so I get lucky. But timing and opportunity have so much a part of everything successful in business. This is the time. This is the opportunity. I'm telling you, the stars have aligned, the heavens, a part of the harps of angels are coming down. It's like there's a sign, right? Like, let's get this done. You got to do it with somebody or you're going to get left in the dust. You might as well do it with the best organization in the country, and that's you guys, Powur Solar.
Well, having you being a part of Powur and the opportunity for us to work with you and the opportunity to just work together and build a cleaner world for our children and for their children and provide economic addition, if not relief, to the HVAC industry in those months, in those lean years, and whatever economy we're now heading into. We're just honored that you took a few minutes to spend some time with us, and we thank you very much for your time. Thank you.
It's my pleasure, my friend. Thank you so much, Bobby and Melissa. Thanks, guys.
My pleasure. All right, well, we're going to turn this back over to Charles. I want to send this back to you all. And again, we thank everybody for your time. Thank you, sir.
Wow. Mercy. Weldon, amazing. I'm watching the chat. We're going to have to share the chat with Weldon, with Brian, and with Bobby. Bobby, truly incredible interview series. I know we went a little bit over the time that we committed to today, but that was well worth it. So thank you for that extra time. I hope that you enjoyed what we shared with you this evening, that this time was well invested. We believe the best is ahead. Get back to whoever referred you here live or to the video and jump on this train. I couldn't find better examples from Weldon and Brian, what they shared with you tonight. Have a great evening.